Hi friends. Today I have a lot of work to do. Therefore, I decided to take you out to my vehicle and talk about what I keep in my EDC, or everyday car. I'm pretty sure this pretty much represents what I carry around with me on a daily basis. And so let's just take a look. Why not? You guys can add some things if you want, or you can tell me to subtract some things. Let's take a look. It's a great vehicle to have if the stuff ever hits the fan. Plus it's really cool. Take the doors off, take top off, you get the idea. So let's take a look around and see just what's readily available right here. So I don't run into the front of the garage. But also this is a high lift jack because this is a big vehicle, but you can use this for other things like in lieu of a winch or something like that. It can pull things if you have straps. Lots of extra lighting. You have to have extra lighting just because that's fun. All right. Inside the vehicle, well, you never know. I always keep this flashlight, and it's solar powered, which is just kind of cool. And that just stays up there, and when I'm not in the garage, it just constantly charges. Also, you can break windows with it, incapacitate zombies. There's a seatbelt cutter, things like that. That's just kind of a cool little thing. I have smellies, but also lots of things to hook up cameras because I do videos in my car. I also have this. This is constantly running in case I see a Bigfoot or in case someone like crashes into me or something like that. Lots of sunglasses. Okay, let's take a look at some of the stuff that I have in the car. Why not? I'm interested. All right, water. Oh, good gravy. Got to show you this. This, my friends, is amazing. Black cherry ginger ale from Verner's. It's awesome. All right. Mint's hand sanitizer. I have electrical tape. I also have that is goo. It's kind of like a sugar supplement type of a thing. Obviously this, always make sure that all your important papers are easy to access, because the last thing you want to do is fumble through your glove compartment if there's a police officer asking you interesting questions. Masks, because I have to go to the doctor to take care of my leg. And I have a bunch of tools, including the lug nut lock in here. One of the other things I want to show you guys is that my interior lights are red. That means that I'm not like blasting white light out in the middle of the darkness, telegraphing my location, but also it's less impactful to my night vision. Not to look crazy, but that is, I have a radio. It is not only solar powered, but you can also crank it. Umbrella. I still have a scraper. In there is spare water. And I also, in here, you can't really see it, but right there I have a battery bank that will start the car. It takes the place of jumper cables. There are jumper cables somewhere down there, also on the other side, along with a tow rope and a come-along. The come-along acts as a poor man's or my winch. I suggest taking the lug nut locks off of your spare tire. Just do it. You'll never be able to get to them if you need them. All right. This is my bike rack, but lots of times I have a different rack on there that carries things, and if I'm heading up north, I carry spare gas, chainsaw, stuff like that. There is my tow rope, and happens to be some fishing gear. Interesting. This is where my daughter keeps her multi-tool. Well, that's neat. That makes me feel kind of good. All right, in the front, I have, this is where I keep extra keys and other little tools. There's a ton of tools that are actually under there, including a wrench, a spare light, more bug spray, and I think that's about all that's here. Oh, that is one of my knives I just like to keep up there. Oh, that's cool. Let me show you this. This thing actually allows you to break windows super easily, and it's spring activated. It also has a seatbelt cutter. But the cool thing about it, if I could show you, is this. Watch this. It just pops off, and I can keep it up there. Really a neat thing in case you have to break out of your windows or someone else's windows. If you've ever come across a car that was on fire and you wanted to break into it to help the driver, which I've done before, this is really cool. I attach this to the back and it gives me so much more room to put things. Simple stuff. I don't have to explain all this stuff. But what's great about it is you could just have things hanging here and not worry about it. This is where I keep the bulk of tools, usually for my bike, but I have knives, I have saws, stuff like that. Back here underneath, okay, a crowbar. People may say, hey, when are you ever going to use a crowbar? Have never had fun. And then, yeah, you may have to cut things. Spare oil, little sterno. This is just clothing and a blanket, jacket. There's cross-country stuff in there. This is a super med kit. Extra tarp, bike lock, duct tape, lots of bungees, parts for the hitch, ropes, fire extinguisher, in case I go to the gun range. That is earmuffs, ear protection. This is something that one of my buddies gave me, and it has MREs in it and spare water, which is just cool. And then, oof, I'm not as limber as I used to be. Alright, so in this bag over here, I have a couple of knives, a pocket knife, bug spray, flashlight, contacts. That's just for me because you never know. Extra jacket, a small shovel. This is a rocket stove, bug netting, handkerchief, thermal blanket, a saw. That is a water straw filtration thingy. I've got cordage. I have duct tape. Things that, and a lot of lighters, because I know in the woods it sucks to try to make fire. Compass, water, containers, things like that. This is hopefully more than I would ever need, considering what I have already in the car. Now, if I didn't have access to the car and this was my only bug out bag, I would be okay, depending on the weather. Because if it's really cold, I'm gonna struggle. But I always keep warm clothes in the car and a tarp. I might want to consider putting a tarp in there also because I've got room. But I keep this with me all the time, just in case. I forgot about something in my first go around. I always keep one of these in the car just in case, just because. And they have cookies in them. They have 2 like MRE type of meals and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I just keep it around just in case. In the center console of my vehicle, I keep my Smith & Wesson Bodyguard. It's chambered in .380. I also have a whole bunch of things like spare fuses, a bunch of pens, extra food, stuff like that in the center console. A whole bunch of cables and stuff to fix lights and all sorts of interesting things. Even spare lug nuts, because you never know. But that's pretty much what I have in the center console. It was just so dark I figured I'd show you like this. So I didn't want to forget about these right here. I usually keep these attached right back there. In the winter or whenever I'm going to be anywhere where there's a ton of sand, there's 2 of them. I just kind of stack them together kind of like Legos. And these things will allow you to get out of sand if you're stuck. It'll allow you to get out of snow if you get stuck in the snow. More than likely, I'm just going to use them to help other people get out of sticky situations.